All right? Okay, this will be fun. We are doing Act 5, Scene 2 of Love's Labour's Lost here in the Natick Mall. This is the new kind of ritzier end of the Natick Mall, Louis Vuitton and the like. There are some kind of, looks like there are some costumes and clothes up here on display. And this is the big play within a play scene at the end of Love's Labour's Lost. It's going to be terribly confusing with just me, so hopefully there'll be some other things to look at. But York will surely attract some attention in this place. So here we go.
It's the Natick Collection.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. It's the Natick Collection, not the Natick Mall anymore. All right, here we go. Act 5, Scene 2. And to the ladies, the Princess Rosalind, Maria, and Catherine. Sweethearts, we shall be rich ere we depart, if fairings come thus plentifully in. A lady walled about with diamonds. Look you what I have from the loving king. Madam, came nothing else along with that? Nothing but this? Yes, as much love in rhyme as would be crammed up in a sheet of paper, writ to both sides of the leaf, margin and all, that he was fain to seal on Cupid's name. That was the way to make his godhead wax, for he hath been 5,000 year a boy. Aye, and a shrewd unhappy gallows too. You'll never be friends with him. I killed your sister. He made her melancholy, sad, and heavy, and so she died. Had she been light like you, of such a merry, nimble, stirring spirit, she might have been grandam ere she died, and so may you. For a light heart lives long. What's your dark meaning, mouse, of this light word? A light condition in a beauty dark. We need more light to find your meaning out. You'll mar the light by taking it in snuff. Therefore, I'll darkly end the argument. Look, what you do it still in the dark. So do not you, for you are a light wench. Indeed, I weigh not you, and therefore light. You weigh me not, or that you care not for me. Great reason, for past cure is still past care. Well bandied both. A set of wit well played. But Rosalind, you have a favor too. Who sent it? What is it? Would you knew, and if my face were as fair as yours, my favor were as great. Be witness this. Nay, I have verses too. I thank Baroon. The number's true, and were the numbering too, I were the fairest goddess on the ground. I am compared to 20,000 fairs, though he hath drawn my picture in his letter. Anything like? Much in the letters, nothing in the praise. Beauteous as ink, a good conclusion. Fair as a text be in a copybook. Where pencils ho, let me not die your debtor. My red dominical, my golden letter. Or that your face were not so full of O's. Pox that jest, and I beshrew all shrews. But Catherine, what was sent to you from fair domain? Madam, this glove. Did he not send you twain? Yes, madam, and moreover, some 1,000 verses of a faithful lover. A huge translation of hypocrisy, vilely compiled, profound simplicity. This and these pearls to me sent Longaville. This letter is too long by half a mile, I think no less. Dost thou not wish in heart the chain were longer and the letter short? Aye, or would these hands might never part. We are wise girls to mock our lovers so. They are worse fools to purchase mocking so. That same Baroon I'll torture ere I go. Oh, that I knew he were but in by the week. How I would make him fawn and beg and seek and wait the season and observe the times and spend his prodigal wits in bootless rhymes and shape his service wholly to my hests and make him proud to make me proud that jests. So pair taunt like would I o'ersway his state that he should be my fool and I his fate. None are so surely caught when they are catched as wit turned fool, folly and wisdom hatched, hath wisdom's warrant and the help of school, and wit's own grace to grace a learned fool. The blood of youth burns not with such excess as gravity's revolt to wantonness. Folly in fools bears not so strong a note as foolery in the wise when wit doth dote, since all the power thereof it doth apply to prove by wit worth and simplicity. Here comes Boyette. And mirth is in his face. Oh, I am stabbed with laughter. Where's her grace? Thy news, Boyette? Prepare, madam, prepare. Arm, wenches, arm, and counters mounted are against your peace. Love doth approach disguised. Armed in arguments, you'll be surprised. Muster your wits, stand in your own defense, or hide your heads like cowards and fly hence. Saint Denis to Saint Cupid, what are they that charge their breath against us? Say, scout, say. Under the cool shade of a sycamore, I thought to close mine eyes some half an hour, when lo, to interrupt my purposed rest, toward that shade I might behold addressed the king and his companions. Warily I stole into a neighbor thicket by, and overheard what you shall overhear, that by and by, disguised, they will be here. Their herald is a pretty knavish page, that well by heart hath conned his embassage. Action and accent did they teach him there. Thus must thou speak, and thus thy body bear. And ever and anon they made a doubt. Presence majestical would put him out. For, quoth the king, an angel shalt thou see, yet fear not thou, but speak audaciously. The boy replied, an angel is not evil. I should have feared her had she been a devil. With that, all laughed and clapped him on the shoulder, making the bold wag by their praises bolder. One rubbed his elbow thus, and fleered and swore a better speech was never spoke before. Another with his finger in his thumb cried, Via, we will do it, come what will come. The third he capered and cried, all goes well. The fourth turned on his toe, and down he fell. With that they all did tumble on the ground, with such zealous laughter, so profound, that in the spleen ridiculous appears to check their folly, passion's solemn tears. But what, come they to visit us? They do, and our apparel thus, like Muscovites, or Russians, as I guess. The purpose is to parley, court, and dance, and everyone his love suit will advance unto his several mistress, which they'll know by favors several which they did bestow. And will they so? The gallants shall be tasked, and ladies, we will every one be masked. And not a man of them shall have the grace, despite of suit, to see a lady's face. Hold, Rosaline, this favor thou shalt wear, and then the king will court thee for his dear. You may pick any one of these. Hold, take thou this, my sweet, and give me thine. So shall Baroon take me for Rosaline, and change your favors too. So shall your loves rue contrary. Deceived by these removes. Come on then. Where the favors most in sight. But in this changing, what is your intent? The effect of my intent is to cross theirs. They do it but in mockery merriment, and mock for mock is only my intent. Their several counsels they unbosom shall, to loves mistook, and so be mocked withal upon the next occasion that we meet, with visages displayed to talk and greet. But shall we dance if they desire us to it? No, to the death we will not move a foot, nor to their penitent speech render we no grace, but while 'tis spoke, each turn away her face. Why, that contempt will kill the speaker's heart, and quite divorce his memory from his part. Therefore I do it, and I make no doubt, the rest will e'er come in if he be out. There is no such sport as sport by sport overthrown, to make theirs ours and ours none but our own. So shall we stay, mocking intended game, and they, well mocked, depart away with shame. Sound trumpet. The trumpet sound. Be masked. The maskers come. Oh, enter blackamoors with music. Moth, the boy with the speech, and the rest of the lords disguised. All hail the richest beauties on the earth. Beauties no richer than rich taffeta. A holy parcel of the fairest dames. The ladies turn their backs to him, that ever turned their backs to mortal views. Their eyes, villain, their eyes. That ever turned their eyes to mortal views. Out, true, out indeed. Out of your favors, heavenly spirits, vouchsafe not to behold, once to behold, rogue. Once to behold with your sun-beamed eyes, with your sun-beamed eyes. They will not answer to that epithet. You were best call it daughter-beamed eyes. You do not mark me, and that brings me out. Is this your perfectness? Begone, you rogue! What would these strangers? Know their minds, boyette. If they do speak our language, 'tis our will that some plain man recount their purposes. Know what they would. What would you with the princess? Nothing but peace and gentle visitation. What would they, say they? Nothing but, why, that they have, and bid them so be gone. She says you have it, and you may be gone. Say to her, we have measured many miles to tread a measure with her on this grass. They say that they have measured many a mile to tread a measure with you on this grass. It is not so. Ask them how many inches is it in 1 mile. If they have measured many, the measure then of one is easy told. If two come hither, you have measured miles, and many miles. The princess bids you tell how many inches doth fill up 1 mile. Tell her we measure them by weary steps. She hears herself. How many weary steps of many weary miles have you o'ergone, are numbered in the travel of 1 mile? We number nothing that we spend for you. Our duty is so rich, so infinite, that we may do it still without account. Vouchsafe to show the sunshine of your face, that we, like savages, may worship it. My face is but a moon and clouded too. Blessed are clouds to do as such clouds do. Aha. Vouchsafe, bright moon, and these thy stars to shine, those clouds removed upon our watery eyeing. O vain petitioner, beg a greater matter. Thou now requestest but moonshine in the water. Then, in our measure, do but vouchsafe one change. Thou biddest me beg. This begging is not strange. Play music then. Nay, you must do it soon. Music plays. Not yet. No dance? Well, thus change I like the moon. Will you not dance? How come you thus estranged? You took the moon at full, but now she's changed. Yet still she is the moon, and I the man. The music plays, vouchsafe some motion to it. Our ears vouchsafe it, but your legs should do it. Since you are strangers and come here by chance, we'll not be nice. Take hands, we will not dance. Why take we hands, then? Only to part friends. Curtsy, sweethearts. And so the measure ends. Music stops. More measure of this measure. Be not nice. We can afford no more at such a price. Price you yourselves. What buys you your company? Your absence only. That can never be. Then cannot we be bought, and so would you. Twice to your visor, and half once to you. If you deny to dance, let's hold more chat. In private, then. I am best pleased with that. They converse apart. White-handed mistress, one sweet word with thee. Honey and milk and sugar, there is 3. Nay then, 2 trays, and if you grow so nice. Metheglin, wort, and momsey, well run, dice. There's half a dozen sweets. 7 sweet adieux. Since you can cog, I'll play no more with you. One word in secret, let it not be sweet. Thou griefst my gall. Gall? Bitter, therefore meat. They converse apart. Will you vouchsafe me to change a word? Name it. Fair lady. Say you so? Fair lord. Take that for your fair lady. Please it you as much in private, and I'll bid adieu. They converse apart. What, was your visor made without a tongue? I know the reason, lady, why you ask. Oh, for your reason, quickly, sir, I long. You have a double tongue within your mask, and would afford my speechless visor half. Veal, quoth the Dutchman. Is not veal a calf? Calf, fair lady. No, a fair lord calf. That's part of the word. No, I'll not be your half. Take all and wean it, it may prove an ox. Look how you butt yourself in these sharp mocks. Will you give horns, chaste lady? Do not so. Then die a calf, before your horns do grow. One word in private, ere I die. Bleat softly then, the butcher hears you cry. They converse apart. The tongues of mocking wenches are as keen as is the razor's edge invisible, cutting a smaller hair than may be seen. Above the sense of sense so sensible seemeth their conference. Their conceits have wings, fleeter than arrows, bullets, wind, thoughts, swifter, fleeter things. Not one word more, my maids, break off, break off! By heaven, all dried, beaten with pure scoff. Farewell, mad wenches, you have simple wits. Exeunt the king, lords, and blackamoors. 20 adieus, my frozen Muscovites. Are these the breed of wits so wondered at? Tapers they are, with your sweet breaths puffed out. Well-liking wits they have, gross, gross, fat, fat. Oh, poverty and wit, kingly poor flout. Will they not, think you, hang themselves tonight? Or ever but in visors show their faces? This pert baroon was out of countenance quite. They were all in lamentable cases. The king was weeping right for a good word. Baroon did swear himself out of all suit. Dumaine was at my service, and his sword, non-point, quoth I. My servant straight was mute. Lord Longaville said I came o'er his heart, and trow you what he called me? Quam, perhaps? Yes, good faith. Go, sickness as thou art. Well, better wits have worn plain statute caps. But will you hear? The king is my love sworn. And quick Baroon hath plighted faith to me, and Longaville was for my service born. Dumaine is mine, as sure as bark on tree. Madam and pretty mistresses give ear. Immediately they will again be here, in their own shapes, for it can never be they will digest this harsh indignity. Will they return? They will, God knows, and leap for joy, though they are lame with blows. Therefore change favors, and when they repair, blow like sweet roses in this summer air. How blow? How blow? Speak, to be understood. Fair ladies masked are roses in their bud. Dismasked, their damask sweet commixture shown, are angels veiling clouds, or roses blown. Avaunt, perplexity. What shall we do if they return in their own shapes to woo? Good madam, if by me you'll be advised, let's mock them still, as well known as disguised. Let us complain to them what fools were here, disguised like Muscovites in shapeless gear. And wonder what they were and to what end, their shallow shows and prolonged violent pen. And their rough carriage so ridiculous should be presented at our tent to us. Ladies, withdraw. The gallants are at hand. Whip to our tents as Rose runs o'er the land. His name's Yorick, and he's very happy to meet you. You're very welcome.
Bye.
Fair sir, God save you. Where's the princess? Gone to her tent. Please, your majesty, command me any service to her thither, that she vouchsafe me audience for one word. I will, and so will she, I know, my lord. This fellow pecks up wit as pigeons peas, and utters it again when God doth please. He is wit's peddler and retails his wares at wakes and wassails, meetings, markets, fairs, and we that sell by gross, the Lord doth know, have not the grace to grace it with such show. This gallant pins the wenches on his sleeve. Had he been Adam, he had tempted Eve. I can carve too, and lisp, why this is he that kissed his hand away in courtesy. This is the ape of form, Monsieur the Nice, that when he plays at tables chides the dice in honorable terms. Nay, he can sing, a mean most meanly, and in ushering, mend him who can. The ladies call him sweet. The stairs, as he treads on them, kiss his feet. This is the flower that smiles on everyone, to show his teeth as white as whale's bone, and consciences that will not die in debt pay him the due of honey-tongued boyette. A blister on his sweet tongue, with my heart, that put Armado's page out of his part. And to the ladies, the Princess Rosalind Maria, Mariah, Catherine with boyette. See where it comes. Behavior, what wert thou till this man showed thee, and what art thou now? All hail, sweet madam, and fair time of day. Fair in all hail is foul, as I conceive. Construe my speeches better, if you may. Then wish me better. I will give you leave. But we came to visit you and purpose now to lead you to our court. Vouchsafe it then. This field shall hold me, and so hold your vow. Nor God nor I delights in perjured men. Rebuke me not for that which you provoke. The virtue of your eye must break mine oath. You nicknamed virtue vice, you should have spoke. For virtue's office never breaks men's troth. Now, by my maiden honor, yet as pure as the unsullied lily, I protest, a world of torments, though I should endure, I would not yield to be your house's guest. So much I hate a breaking cause to be of heavenly oaths, vowed with integrity. Oh, you have lived in desolation here, unseen, unvisited, much to our shame. Not so, my lord. It is not so, I swear. We have had pastimes here and pleasant gain. A mess of Russians left us but of late. How, madam, Russians? Aye, in truth, my lord. Trim gallants, full of courtship and of state. Madam, speak true, it is not so, my lord. My lady to the manner of the days and courtesy gives undeserving praise. Before indeed confronted were with four in Russian habit, here they stayed an hour, and talked apace. And in that hour, my lord, they did not bless us with one happy word. I dare not call them fools, but this I think. When they are thirsty, fools would fain have drink. This jest is dry to me. My gentle sweet, your wits make wise things foolish. When we greet, with eyes best seeing heaven's fiery eye, by light we lose light. Your capacity is of that nature that, to your huge store, wise things seem foolish and rich things but poor. This proves you wise and rich, for in mine eye, I am a fool, and full of poverty. But that you take what doth to you belong. It were fault to snatch words from my tongue. Oh, I am yours, and all that I possess. All the fool mine, I cannot give you less. Which of the visors was it that you wore? Where, when, what visor? Why demand you this? There, then, that visor, that superfluous case, that hid the worse, showed the better face. We were descried, they'll knock us now downright. They'll let us confess and turn it to a jest. Amazed, my lord, why looks your highness sad? Help! Holds his brow so swoon. Why look you pale? Seasick, I think, coming from Muscovy. Thus pour the stars down plagues for perjury. Can any face of brass hold longer out? Here stand I, lady. Dart thy skill at me. Bruise me with scorn. Confound me with a flout. Thrust thy sharp wit quite for my ignorance. Cut me to pieces with thy keen conceit, and I will wish thee never more to dance, nor never more in Russian habit wait. Oh, never will I trust to speech's pen, nor to the motion of a schoolboy's tongue, nor never come in visor to my friend, nor woo and rhyme like a blind harper's song. Taffeta phrases, silken terms precise, three-piled hyperboles, spruce affectation, figures pedantical, these summer flies have blown me full of maggot ostentation. I do forswear them, and I here protest by this white glove, how white the hand, God knows. Henceforth my wooing mind shall be expressed in russet yeas and honest cursey noes. And to begin, wench, so God help me love. My love to thee is sound, Sans crack or flaw. Sans, I pray you. Yet I have a trick of the old rage. Bear with me, I am sick. I'll leave it by degrees, soft, let us see. Right. Lord, have mercy on us, on those three. They are infected, in their hearts it lies. They have the plague and caught it of your eyes. These lords are visited, you are not free. For the Lord's tokens on you do I see. No, they are free that gave these tokens to us. Our estates are forfeit. Seek not to undo us. It is not so. How can this be true? That you stand forfeit, being those that sue. Peace! For I will not have to do with you. Nor shall not, if I do as I intend. Speak for yourselves, my wit is at an end. Teach us, sweet madam, for our rude transgression some fair excuse. The fairest disconfession, were you not here, but even now, disguised? Madam, I was. And were you well advised? I was, fair madam. When you then were here, what did you whisper in your lady's ear? That more than all the world that did respect her, when she shall challenge this, you will reject her. Upon mine honor, no. Peace, peace, forbear. Your oath once broke, you forced not to forswear. Despise me when I break this oath of mine. I will, and therefore keep it, Rosaline. What did the Russian whisper in your ear? Madam, he swore that he did hold me dear, as precious eyesight, and did value me above this world, adding thereto, moreover, that he would wed me, or else die my lover. God give thee joy of him. The noble lord most honorably doth uphold his word. What mean you, madam? By my life, my troth, I never swore this lady such an oath. By heaven, you did. And to confirm it plain, you gave me this. But take it, sir, again. My faith in this the princess I did give. I knew her by this jewel on her sleeve. Pardon me, sir, this jewel did she wear. And Lord Baroon, I thank him as my dear. What, will you have me or your pearl again? Neither of either. I remit both twain. I see the trick on it. Here was a consent, knowing aforehand of our merriment, to dash it like a Christmas comedy. Some carry tale, some please man, some slight zany, some mumble news, some trencher knight, some dick that smiles his cheek in years and knows the trick to make my lady laugh when she's disposed, told our intents before, which once disclosed.
Video camera in the mall, and you can't hand out business cards.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a business.
I know, but still, you can't hand out things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we can't?
Yeah, can't video camera either.
Oh, okay.
Well, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, we'll just have to carry this on some other time. All right, so we've just been kicked out of the Natick Mall. I'm sorry, the Natick Collection. It's probably only the 4th or 5th time I've ever been kicked out of somewhere. It always feels a little strange, but at least it didn't feel embarrassing this time. The other ones were the post office, Jamaica Plain, the Christian Science Center, a couple other places. Anyways, we add it to the list. We're reading the longest scene that I've read so far. This is the longest scene Shakespeare wrote, if we are to account it one scene, which the Arden does, Act 5, Scene 2, the very last scene of Love's Labour's Lost. So this is the second half of that scene. Now, we got a whole 460 lines into that scene, which is more than half, and or about half. And so we're just going to start at the beginning of the speech in line 460. This is the big Neiman Marcus piece of architecture in the background, which may give you something to look at when Yorick and I get a little boring. But we're going to start with Baroon's big speech right here, line 459, Act 5, Scene 2, Love's Labour's Lost. The princess says, "What will you have me or your pearl again?" Baroon says, "Neither of either. I remit both twain. I see the trick on it. Here was a consent, knowing aforehand of our merriment, to dash it like a Christmas comedy. Some carry tale, some please man, some slight zany, some mumble news, some trencher knight, some dick that smiles his cheek in years and knows the trick to make my lady laugh when she's disposed, told our intents before, which once disclosed, The ladies did change favors, and then we, following the signs, wooed but the sign of she. Now to our perjury to add more terror, we are again forsworn in will and error. Much upon this 'tis, and might not you forestall our sport, to make us thus untrue? Do not you know my lady's foot by the squire, and laugh upon the apple of her eye? And stand between her back, sir, and the fire, holding a trencher, jesting merrily. You put our page out. Go, you are allowed. Die when you will. A smock shall be your shroud. You leer upon me, do you? There's an eye. Wounds like a leaden sword. Full merrily hath this brave managed, this career been run. Lo, he is tilting straight. Peace, I have done. Enter Costard the clown. Welcome, pure wit. Thou partest a fair fray. Oh lord, sir, they would know whether the 3 worthies shall come in or no. What, are there but 3? No, sir, but it is vera fine for every one pursuance per sense 3. And 3 times thrice is 9. Not so, sir. Under correction, sir. I hope it is not so. You cannot beg us, sir. I cannot assure you, sir. We know what we know. I hope, sir, 3 times thrice, sir, is not 9. Under correction, sir. We know whereuntil it doth amount. By Jove, I always took 3 threes for 9. Oh Lord, sir, it would pity you should get your living by reckoning, sir. How much is it? Oh Lord, sir, the parties themselves, the actors, sir, will show whereuntil it doth amount. For mine own part, I am, as they say, but to perfect 1 man in 1 poor man, Pompey the Great, sir. Art thou one of the worthies? It pleased them to think me worthy of Pompey the Great. For mine own part, I know not the degree of the worthy, but I am to stand for him. Go bid them prepare. We will turn it finely off, sir. We will take some care. Baroon, they will shame us. Let them not approach. We are shame-proof, my lord, and 'tis some policy to have one show worse than the king's and his company. I say they shall not come. Nay, my good lord, let me o'errule you now. That sport best pleases that doth least know how. Where zeal strives to content, and the contents dies, and the contents dies in the zeal of that which it presents. Their form confounded makes most form in mirth, when great things laboring perish in their birth. A right description of our sport, my lord. I wonder what that sound is. Enter Armado, the braggart. Anointed, I implore so much expense of thy royal sweet breath as will utter a brace of words. Armado and the king talk more. Does this man serve God? Why ask you? He speaks not like a man of God his making. That is all one, my fair, sweet, honey monarch. For I protest the schoolmaster is exceeding fantastical. Too vain. But we will put it, as they say, to fortuna de la guerra. Gives the king a paper. I wish you the peace of mind, most royal couplement. Here is like to be a good presence of the worthies. He presents Hector of Troy, the swain Pompey the Great, the parish curate Alexander, Armado's page Hercules, the pedant Judas Maccabeus. And if these 4 worthies in their first show thrive, these 4 will change habits and present the other 5. There was 5 in the first show. You are deceived, 'tis not so. The pedant, the braggart, the hedge priest, the fool, and the boy. A bait throw at novum, and the whole world again cannot pick out 5 such. Take each one in his vein. The ship is under sail, and here she comes, amain. Enter Costard as Pompey. I, Pompey, am. You lie, you are not he. I, Pompey, am, with leopard's head on knee. Well said, old mocker, I must needs be friends with thee. I, Pompey, am. Pompey surnamed the Big, the Great. It is great, sir. Pompey surnamed the Great. That often field with targe and shield did make my foe to sweat. And travelling along this coast, I here am come by chance, and lay my arms before the legs of this sweet lass of France. If your ladyship would say, thanks, Pompey, I had done. Great thanks, great Pompey. 'Tis not so much worth, but I hope I was perfect. I made little fault in great. My hat to a halfpenny, Pompey proves the best worthy. Enter Nathaniel the curate for Alexander. When in this world I lived, I was the world's commander. By east, west, north, and south, I spread my conquering might. My scutcheon plain declares that I am Alexander. Your nose says no, you are not, for it stands too bright. Your nose smells no in this most tender-smelling night. The conqueror is dismayed. Proceed, good Alexander. When in the world I lived, I was the world's commander. Most true 'tis right, you were so, Alexander. Pompey the Great, your servant, and Costard. Take away the conqueror, take away Alexander. Oh, sir, you have overthrown Alexander the Conqueror. You will be scraped out of the painted cloth for this. Your lion that holds a poleaxe sitting on a closed stool will be given to Ajax. He will be the 9th worthy. A conqueror, and afraid to speak. Run away for shame, Alexander. There, and it shall please you, a foolish, mild man, an honest man, look you, and soon dashed. He is a marvellous good neighbour, faith, and a very good bowler. But for Alexander, alas, you see how 'tis. A little or pardoned. But there are worthies a-coming, will speak their minds in some other sort. Stand aside, good Pompey. Enter Holofernes the pedant as Judas, and Moth the boy as Hercules. Great Hercules is presented by this imp, whose club killed Cerberus, that 3-headed Canis, and when he was a babe, a child, a shrimp, thus did he strangle serpents in his manus. Quoniam, he seemeth in minority. Ergo, I come with this apology. Keep some state in thy exit, and vanish. Ahem! Judas, I am a Judas! Not Iscariot, sir. Judas, I am Eclepid Maccabeus. Judas Maccabeus, clipped is plain Judas. A kissing traitor. How? Art thou proved Judas? Judas, I am. The more shame for you, Judas. What mean you, sir? To make Judas hang himself. Well, begin, sir. You are my elder. Well followed. Judas was hanged on an elder. I will not be put out of countenance, because thou hast no face. What is this? A cittern head. The head of a bodkin. A death's face in a ring. The face of an old Roman coin, scarce seen. The pommel of Caesar's falchion. The carved bone face on a flask. St. George's half-cheek and a brooch. Aye, and in a brooch of lead. Aye, and worn in the cap of a tooth drawer. And now forward, for we have put thee in countenance. You have put me out of countenance. False, we have given these faces. But you have outfaced them all. And if thou wert a lion, we would do so. Therefore, as he is an ass, let him go. And so adieu, sweet Jude. And what dost thou stay? For the latter end of his name, for the ass to the Jude, give it him, Jude ass, away. This is not generous, not gentle, not humble. A light for Monsieur Judas, it grows dark, he may stumble. Alas, poor Maccabeus, how he hath been baited. Enter Armado as Hector. Hide thy head, Achilles, here comes Hector in arms. Though my mocks come home by me, I will now be merry. Hector was but a Trojan in respect of this, but is this Hector? I think Hector was not so clean timbered. His leg is too big for Hector's. More calf, certain. No, he is best endued in the small. This cannot be Hector. He's a god or a painter, for he makes faces. The omnipotent Mars of lances the Almighty gave Hector a gift. A gilt nutmeg. A lemon. Stuck with cloves. No, cloven. Peace! The omnipotent Mars of lances the Almighty gave Hector a gift. The heir of Ilion. A man so breathed that certain he would fight, yea, from morn till night, out of his pavilion. I am that flower, that mint, that columbine. Sweet Lord Longueville, rein thy tongue. I must rather give it rein, for it runs against Hector. Aye, and Hector's a greyhound. That sweet war man is dead and rotten. Sweet Chuck, speak not the bones of the buried. When he breathed, he was a man, but I will forward with my device. Sweet royalty, bestow on me the sense of hearing. Speak, brave Hector, we are much delighted. I do adore thy sweet Grace's slipper. Loves her by the foot. He may not by the yard. Thus, this Hector far surmounted Hannibal. The party is gone. Fellow Hector, she is gone. She is 2 months on her way. What meanest thou? Faith, unless you play the honest Trojan, the poor wench is cast away. She's quick. The child brags in her belly already. 'Tis yours. Dost thou infamize me among potentates? Thou shalt die. Then shall Hector be whipped for Jaquenetta, that is quick by him, and hanged for Pompey, that is dead by him. Most rare Pompey. Renowned Pompey. Greater than great. Great, great, great Pompey. Pompey the huge. Hector trembles. Pompey is moved. More Ates, more Ates. Stir them on, stir them on. Hector will challenge him. Aye, if I have no more blood, if I have more man's blood in his belly, then will sup a flea. By the North Pole I do challenge thee. I will not fight with a pole like a northern man. I'll slash, I'll do it by the sword. I pray you, let me borrow my arms again. Room for the insensate worthies. No, I'll do it in my shirt. Most resolute Pompey. Master, let me take you a buttonhole lower. Do you not see? Pompey is uncasing for the combat. What mean you? You will lose your reputation. Gentlemen and soldiers, pardon me. I will not combat in my shirt. You may not deny it. Pompey hath made the challenge. Sweet bloods, I both may and will. What reason have you for it? The naked truth of it is, I have no shirt. I go woolward for penance. True, and it was enjoined him in Rome for want of linen, since when, I'll be sworn, he wore none but a dish-clout of jaquenettas, and that wears next his heart for a favour. Enter messenger, Monsieur Marcadet. God save you, madam. Welcome, Marcadet. But that thou interruptst our merriment. I am sorry, madam, for the news I bring is heavy in my tongue. The king, your father, dead for my life. Even so, my tale is told. Worthies away, the scene begins to cloud. For mine own part, I breathe free breath. I have seen the day of wrong, though the little hole of discretion, and I will right myself like a soldier. Exeunt Worthies. How fares your majesty? Boyette, prepare, I will await tonight. Madam, not so, I do beseech you stay. Prepare, I say. I thank you, gracious lords, for all your fair endeavours, and entreat, out of a new sad soul, that you vouchsafe in your rich wisdom to excuse or hide the liberal opposition of our spirits, if over boldly we have borne ourselves in the converse of breath. Your gentleness was guilty of it. Farewell, worthy lord. A heavy heart bears not a nimble tongue. Excuse me so, coming too short of thanks for my great suit so easily obtained. The extreme parts of time extremely forms all causes to the purpose of his speed, and often at his very loose decides that which long process could not arbitrate. And though the morning brow of progeny forbid the smiling courtesy of love, the holy suit which fain it would convince that since love's argument was first on foot, let not the cloud of sorrow jostle it from what it purposed, since to wail friends lost is not by much so wholesome profitable as to rejoice at friends but newly found. I understand you not, my griefs are double. Honest plain words best pierce the ear of grief, and by these badges understand the king. For your fair sakes have we neglected time, played foul play with our oaths. Your beauty, ladies, hath much deformed us, fashioning our humours even to the opposed ends of our intents. And what in us hath seemed ridiculous, as love is full of unbefitting strains, all wanton as a child, skipping in vain, formed by the eye, and therefore like the eye, full of strange shapes of habits and of forms, varying in subjects as the eye doth roll to every varied object in his glance, which party-coded presence of loose love put on by us, if, in your heavenly eyes, become to our oaths and gravities, those heavenly eyes that look into these faults suggested us to make. Therefore, ladies, our love being yours, the error that love makes is likewise yours. We to ourselves prove false by being once false, for ever to be true to those that make us both, fair ladies, you. And even that falsehood, in itself a sin, thus purifies itself and turns to grace. We have received your letters full of love, your favours the ambassadors of love, and in our maiden council rated them at courtship pleasant jest and courtesy, as bombast and as lining to the time. But more devout than this in our respects have we not been, and therefore met your loves in their own fashion like a merriment. Our letters, madam, showed much more than jest. So did our looks. We did not quote them so. Now, at the latest minute of the hour, grant us your loves, a time, methinks, too short to make a world without end bargain in. No, my lord, your grace is perjured much, full of dear guiltiness, And therefore this: if for my love, as there is no such cause, you will do aught, this shall you do for me. Your oath I will not trust, but go with speed to some forlorn and naked hermitage, remote from all the pleasures of the world. There stay until the 12 celestial signs have brought about the annual reckoning. If this austere, insociable life change not your offer made in heat of blood, if frosts and fasts, hard lodging and thin weeds nip not the gaudy blossoms of your love, but that it bear this trial and last love, then at the expiration of the year come challenge me. Challenge me by these deserts, and by this virgin palm, now kissing thine. I will be thine. Until that instant, shut my woeful self up in a mourning house, raining the tears of lamentation for the remembrance of my father's death. If this thou do deny, let our hands part, neither entitled in the other's heart. If this or more than this I would deny, to flatter up these powers of mine with rest, the sudden hand of death close up mine eye. Hence, hermit then, my heart is in thy breast. They converse apart. But what to me, my love, but what to me, a wife, a beard, fair health and honesty. With threefold love I wish you all these three. Oh, shall I say I thank you, gentle wife? Not so, my lord. A 12-month and a day I'll mark no words that smooth-faced wooers say. Come, when the king doth to my lady come, then if I have much love, I'll give you some. I'll serve thee true and faithfully till then, yet swear not, lest ye be forsworn again. They converse apart. What says Maria? At the 12 months' end, I'll change my black gown for a faithful friend. I'll stay with patience, but the time is long. The like are you. Few taller are so young. They converse apart. Studies, my lady, mistress, look on me. Behold the window of my heart, mine eye, what humble suit attends thy answer there. Impose some service on me for thy love. Oft have I heard of you, my lord Baroon, before I saw you, and the world's large tongue proclaims you for a man replete with mocks, full of comparisons and wounding flouts, which you on all estates will execute that lie within the mercy of your wit, to weed this wormwood from your fruitful brain, and therewithal to win me, if you please, without the which I am not to be won. You shall this 12-month term from day to day visit the speechless sick and still converse with groaning wretches. And your task shall be, with all the fierce endeavor of your wit, to enforce the pained impotent to smile. To move wild laughter in the throat of death, it cannot be, it is impossible. Mirth cannot move a soul in agony. Why, that's the way to choke a jibing spirit, whose influence is begot of that loose grace which shallow laughing hearers give to fools. A jest's prosperity lies in the ear of him that hears it, never in the tongue of him that makes it. Then if sickly ears, deft with the clamors of their own dear groans, will hear your idle scorns, continue then, and I will have you in that fault withal. But if they will not, throw away that spirit, and I shall find you empty of that fault, right joyful of your reformation. A 12-month. Well, befall what will befall. I'll jest a 12-month in a hospital. Aye, sweet my lord, and so I take my leave. No, madam, we will bring you on your way. Our wooing doth not end like an old play. Jack hath not Jill. These ladies' courtesy might well have made our sport a comedy. Come, sir, it wants a 12-month and a day, and then 'twill end. That's too long for a play! Enter Armado, the braggart. Sweet majesty, vouchsafe me. Was that not Hector, the worthy knight of Troy? I will kiss thy royal finger, and then leave. I am a votary. I have vowed to Jaquanetta to hold the plough for her sweet love 3 years. But most esteemed greatness, will you hear the dialogue that the two learned men have compiled in praise of the owl and the cuckoo? It should have followed in the end of our show. Call them forth quickly. We will do so. Hola! Approach! Enter all. This side is Hemes, winter, this Ver, the spring. The one maintained by the owl, the other by the cuckoo. Ver, begin the song. When daisies pied, and violets blue, and lady smocks all silver white, and cuckoo buds of yellow hue do paint the meadows with delight. The cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he. Cuckoo, cuckoo, oh word of fear, unpleasing to a married ear. When shepherds pipe on oaten straws, and merry larks are ploughmen's clocks, when turtles tread, and rooks and daws, and maidens bleach their summer smocks, the cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he. Cuckoo, cuckoo, oh word of fear, unpleasing to a married ear. When icicles hang by the wall, and Dick the shepherd blows his nail, and Tom bears logs into the hall, and milk comes frozen home in pail, and blood is nipped, and ways be foul, then nightly sings the staring owl. To wit, to woo, a merry note, while greasy Joan doth keel the pot. When all aloud the wind doth blow, and coughing drowns the parson's saw, and birds sit brooding in the snow, and Marian's nose looks red and raw. When roasted crabs hiss in the bowl, then nightly sings the staring owl. To wit, to woo, a merry note, while greasy Joan doth keel the pot. The words of mirth